if you're someone who has experienced rejection a lot or pretty much your whole life, I really want to say take courage in that, take joy in that, and know that that's actually a good sign that you've been hand selected by God, you've been picked, and so the enemy doesn't want you to. He doesn't want you to know that, and he doesn't want you to believe that. And I wanted to just kind of share a little testimony. I've been rejected since I was a child, like always my whole life, and I can just remember always feeling like I wasn't saved, even when I was so young that I didn't even really understand it. I remember asking an older church member of mine how do I know that I'm saved, and I would always think about it, just always feeling like I was not saved, and that followed me throughout my adult life. And so I remember this particular Sunday that I woke up and I was just, I don't really remember what I was doing. Maybe I was driving on my way to church or something, and I just remembered just constantly thinking, like, am I even a child of God? Like, I wonder if I'm even belong to God. Like, how do I know? And I was really young in my faith, and I think just pursuing God, and just constant, that question was just like, how do you know you're a child of God? You're not a child of God. And so when I walked into church that day, immediately when I walked in, that song was playing, I Am a Child of God. And I was like, wow, that's weird. And at that time I didn't really understand the Holy Spirit and, you know, how he moves and all that stuff. And so I didn't really I didn't let that sink in. And so I let that follow me. I continued to let that follow me for a long time. And I know now that it was the enemy telling me that. And just a couple of years ago, I had never shared that with anyone. I had never told anyone that I had battled with that. And I remember going to a Christian concert a couple years ago, and this is when the Lord really started waking me up to my call and started activating me kind of in the spirit and with spiritual things. And I was at a Christian concert, and a random woman walked up to me, and she just said, you know, the Lord has a word for you. And this was the first time that had ever happened. And she was like, would you like to hear it? And I was like, of course, yeah. And the first words that she had said to me is, the enemy tells you that you're not a child of God, and he wants you to know that you are his child. And so I just think that was so beautiful. I just wept crying, because that was something that I battled with, like, and I just didn't talk about it because I guess I felt like I was weird for thinking it. I'm not sure. So anyway, the devil is a liar, and he has no truth in him, and he's going to always tell you the opposite of what God tells you, what his word tells you, and anything to get in your head, anything to get in your mind, and you have to know the truth for yourself. You have to know the word. You have to make sure that you're in the word, right? Not only that, I just want to tell you that if you're someone that's never really experienced the Holy Spirit, pay attention to the things that, first of all, what you're thinking, and then pay attention to the things around you. You know, if you're pursuing God, he will begin to speak to you. He'll begin to send people to speak to you. He will let you know that he hears all your thoughts. He knows your thoughts, and he wants to show you that he's very real. He's very much with you, very much a part of you. And so I encourage you to pay attention to nature, pay attention to the signs, miracles, and wonders, because they're so very real. Don't think for a second that these small things, like, you know, seeing certain birds all the time, seeing certain numbers all the time, hearing a certain song all the time, that is how the Holy Spirit moves, okay? So you know, ask God for discernment. Ask God to heighten your sense of awareness and give you, make you sensitive to his spirit. And just to confirm, you know, whatever you're feeling, say, Lord, you know, this is the way that I'm feeling, and I just want to know that you know, you're present and you're aware of this, and I want to just know the truth about it. And he is faithful to do that. So I just hope this encourages you, because you know, our testimonies, they may be small, they may be big, but they each matter, and they each are just an expression of God's love. So I pray this blessing. Just to add to that, I needed to clarify. When I say pay attention to numbers, not angel numbers, those are fake, they're false. You know that the enemy is a copycat, so don't even pay attention to that. We don't rock with no angel numbers. We don't rock with no astrology, horoscopes, none of that trash, witchcraft. We don't get down with that. So when I say pay attention to numbers, we're talking about Strong's Concordance. We're talking about a repeating number. And you want to always take that to God. If you're seeing something, you want to ask God about it. Is this you? Because He's faithful to let you know. Okay, so that's just to add to that. I needed to clarify. When I say pay attention to numbers, not angel numbers, those are fake. They're false. You know that the enemy is a copycat. So don't even pay attention to that. We don't rock with no angel numbers. We don't rock with no astrology, horoscopes, none of that trash, witchcraft. We don't get down with that. So when I say pay attention to numbers, we're talking about Strong's Concordance. We're talking about a repeating number. And you want to always take that to God. If you're seeing something, you want to ask God about it. Is this you? Because He's faithful to let you know. Okay, so that's it.